Hello everybody, this here is Ox Bigley, and right in front of me I have this unopened box of Star Wars Shadows of the Empire trading cards from Topps in, let's see what it says here, 1996. For those of you who do not know, Shadows of the Empire, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, was a novel. They kind of made it this whole multimedia experience where there was a comic book by Dark Horse, a video game on both PC and the Nintendo 64 at the time, as well as an action figure line from Kenner, and even a soundtrack. Now this was a book that was written, and it was to take place between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, explaining how they basically, how Luke finishes training and how they track down Han Solo down to Jabba's palace so they can free him from the carbonite. This set has artwork features artwork rather from Greg and Tim Hildebrandt, if I am pronouncing it correctly. They have done a lot of very good artwork for comic books and so forth. Here we have the 4 different card package covers. Here we have Boba Fett, Prince Shizor, and while I have him here, let me tell you the story about Prince Shizor. Basically, he was the antagonist of the story, and actually antagonist to Darth Vader. He was trying to usurp Darth Vader as the Emperor's right-hand man. So, and then of course we have Luke Skywalker here with his newly minted lightsaber. So, there are 36 packs in this. I'm going to be basically doing this as a long video here. I'm just going to open every single one of these. There are special cards. I'll read it for you since the foil will not allow it to happen. It says collect all 90 Shadows of the Empire trading cards. So there's a 90 base set. Look for specially inserted etched foil and embossed foil chase cards. And then it gives the approximate odds. Now, it doesn't say how many of those special cards there are. However, if there is a checklist in here, hopefully the special cards will be mentioned. A lot of times, some card series, when they did, Gordon Bennett, these things are difficult to open. When they did checklists, they did not have the special cards, the subsets, I should say, on there. So, and there was a set. These are some thick, really thick card stock here. And this, it covers the entire story of choking out Captain Kirk there. Who the heck is it? Of Shadows of the Empire. A lot of these scenes are going to reflect that. And I don't believe my camera is going to focus. Give me one moment. And see if I can get this to focus. Because that is not that blurry in real life. Well, hooray for me having a crap camera. Let's see. Yeah, that's not too bad. There we go. It's a bridge of the something or other. Ooh, hello. Triple. Oh, this is an advert. Oh, yeah. Star Wars Galaxy Magazine and 3D wide vision cards. Get that over there. Okay. That's the Millennium Falcon. Of course. The Outrider, the ship of Dash Rendar. Dash Rendar was the... it's actually got their signature there in the bottom. That's actually kind of cool. Yep, the Outrider. Pause. Oop. There's my hand. Okay. If you're able to pause and read. Basically, since Han Solo was absent, they needed a smuggler-type person, so Dash Rendar filled that role quite well. I played this came out like right, it was 1986, so this is right after they were re-released on home video. I bought them, and they were also right after they came back with, that's where the swoop bikes come from, was actually here. We were invented for this. It was Slave 1. The Kenner, came back out with the action figures in '95, starting, of course, with the Han Solo Stormtrooper one that was a mail-away exclusive for Fruit Loops, which I actually have a couple of those in storage still. I believe that's Coruscant. But I like how they actually sign their artwork, which is nice. A lot of companies, I know Topps, back in the '80s, especially when it came to was it Garbage Kids and other parody card series like that. Now this is Dash Rendar and Chewbacca. Try to get a better focus. There we go. All right. So there's the man himself. Quite different from the way he looked in the video game. He had darker hair and a permanent 5 o'clock shadow. That was my main window into the storyline of Shadows of the Empire until I got the novel. Basically was the video game for the 64. Now the PC version, which I do own now but have not played much because I can't change the controls, that has like voice acting and I think some proper animation and whatnot. So yeah. And I just like the look of Dash Rendar. I have a figure that I modified to look more like the one from the video game. So, and there was a giant. The game started off in Hoth, and you were flying a. Oh, I see some foil there. We'll get to that in a moment. I have no idea who this is. Let me see who this woman is here. The mysterious woman, in quotes. So she may or may not be an actual woman. Get that in a second. There's a ship that is got some curves that won't quit. Look at that. All right. Now this is an embossed because it's raised up. I don't know how well. Yeah, see, you can see the indentation of Boba Fett. There is. Let me see. This is 82. So this is part of the base set, actually. Or this is a regular card, but done in this style. So that might be the case. Still on the side. And we're going for like a full set here. Basically, I'm going to open up all these. I'm going to spare you the grueling sorting process. Actually, you know what? Let me open up all these, and then I'll go through them and come back at you. I know I said I was going to come back, but the artwork on these cards, I mean, the work that these guys do, they did comic book art to the Terminator, and their use of lighting and shading and everything else like that makes it look legit. This camera is definitely not doing it justice because it's not focusing. But, there we go. So, yes, see, that's just almost photorealistic, these guys' work. So they're very, very, very talented. I just thought I'd share that one. I just got a couple of cards here. One here, we have Chewbacca dressed up as Snuva. They gave him a haircut and had to dye patches of his skin because there was a bounty hunter who was a Wookiee. And also, within the story, they kind of give an origin as to how Leia gets the Bosch disguise. Of course, she just shows up, and apparently Bosch was an actual bounty hunter named Bosch. So yeah, that was, and they explained it. I think I had a version of this card before, or with this artwork, maybe from like Wizard magazine. Tell you how long ago that was. So, I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. So, a little character insight here. This card features Princess Leia, who is captured by Prince Shizor, And basically, Shizor had the ability to, I guess, emotionally control people. He found Leia quite attractive and was basically forcing her to make out with him. The card tells of how Chewie broke it up, and then she came back and basically kicked Shizor in the junk with her knee. So that might give you a little bit of insight. Of course, she became his prisoner. That might give you a little bit of insight as to why she was so quick to kill Jabba the Hutt in Return of the Jedi there. So there's a little insight there. I thought it was pretty interesting. Okay, that took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I have here, unfortunately, an incomplete set. I am missing 4 cards, numbers 73, 74, 79, and 81 out of 36 packs. Now, of course, they had to shove in one of these in each package, which if they would have put another card, maybe I would actually have the 4 cards I'm missing. But I have 36 of these smiggers. So, of note, we'll go through each of these real quick. One thing I wanted to mention about Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, since it still is canon, I would love it if if ABC or something like that would do like a mini series based on this story. You can since Star Wars, do a big production of it. Seeing as that within Rogue One they youthed Carrie Fisher and they brought back Peter Cushing. They should be able to do this. And there's plenty of voice actors and actresses out there who can sound like the people that they're intending to sound like. So anyway, I have this one here with Shizor behind the Emperor when he's speaking to Vader, basically when he's telling him, hey, you're a daddy. So there's that one. I think it was Leia. She was dreaming. Yeah, Leia's reoccurring nightmare about Han being frozen in carbonite. Luke, he went back to Tatooine to finish his training. He was in Obi-Wan's house building his new lightsaber, which actually was part of what was some stuff that was actually filmed but cut. Here, there was a circus that was going around, and he was sort of walking on a tightrope with his eyes closed, feeling the Force or whatever, and he feels the dark side pulling him. That devil guy in the Mos Eisley Cantina, they talked to him for some reason. Apparently he wants to get all freaky with his lengthy tongue there, and she's like pissed off. So, there's that. Lando... Shizor and Vader meet. Shizor is busting somebody's neck. These red guards, they're not the Emperor's Royal Guards. They're a different kind, and the outfits are pretty interesting. There's a card that shows them a little bit better much later on. This lady woman who works for him, Black Sun Corporation, I think. Here she is choking out Captain Kirk. Here is Mr. the Hutt talking to Prince Shizor. And yes, that is how it's pronounced. In the novel, it does mention that's how it's pronounced phonetically. So I guess when they first meet up with Mr. Rendar, or Randar, depending. Now, this is important. Why is this important? Again, to add more credibility and clout and canonicity to Shadows of the Empire. This droid here that he's beating the crap out of is in the special edition. They made an action figure of it. It's in the special edition. I think it was like he was carrying a beam or something like that and was swatting around some flying robot and just wasting screen time, basically. But I believe that's Coruscant, which is the first mention of it that I remember ever, outside of the backs of the 90s Power of the Force figures. Following Dash Rendar. Splody Boom Boom. Not sure what this was. Luke scores a tie. Ha. Obi-Wan Kenobi speaking to him from the Force. The Slave One. I think that's on Coruscant. What does it say? Narrow escape. Lando Calrissian. Long history with the Millennium Falcon. So I guess they're running from Boba Fett or something. It's been a while since I read the book, so I do not know. I think Luke's about to punch the crap out of Dash Rendar there. Yeah, Luke should be used to the selfish attitudes of freelance pilots. So yeah, he's just going to punch him out. But still would be kind of nice to see. Darth Vader. Vader grows weary of Shizor. See, I thought it was like Zizor or something like that originally. But no, it's Shizor. That's very good artwork. Shizor wants it all. So maybe that's his, I don't know, pause to read. I'm not going to let you see the back of every single one of these cards. Basically, this is definitely Coruscant. Or they're on the Death Star Part 2. Emperor insists. I don't know. Also, one question I have for you, card collecting people. Now, sideways cards. If the backs are also sideways, which way do they go? Do they go into the little sleeves that way or this way? What is your... I'm sure that's all down to personal preference, but just kind of curious. And here we have Professor Xavier playing cards with the gatekeeper for Valhalla, or I'm sorry, Asgard and Lando Calrissian. So, and then Luke and his hones his lightsaber skills, so he's doing more training exercises. Swoop bikes, and just the, I mean, the artwork on these things is amazing. Just because, you know, the Hildebrand brothers, they do some awesome work in lighting and everything. These are the kind of paintings. Now, there were some TV 3D glasses before actual 3D TVs were a thing, where one lens was colored yellow and the other one was like dark. And the way that basically worked is if you actually look at an image that is this detailed in depth and everything, and you cover one eye, you actually can see these things almost in 3D. It actually gives you a sense of depth. And I love paintings like this. These guys, I mean, I don't know if any of their works have ever ended up in a museum, but they should do. Yeah, this is something that was a part of the game, actually. Let me get back here. Threading the needle on Tatooine. They were going through Beggar's Canyon, and that's you had to put the swoop bike right in there, and that kind of was a difficult thing in the game, especially if you're trying to do it for speed. But if you're going around just collecting challenge points, to heck with it. So Darth Vader destroys the rebel base. There's that lady woman with the legs. Guri. Okay, that's her name. And Dash Rendar and Luke walking around. Oh, the Bothan. Luke and Dash's Bothan mission. So, okay, we'll probably find out what Bothans are. There is Dash Rendar shooting you in the face. I don't know why he has got a cable running to his belt. That doesn't make sense. He's supposed to have the same gun as Han Solo, at least in the toys in the game he does. It's a big old space explosion. Attack of the Saprosa. Leia and Lady Woman. More shoot 'em ups. Mr. Teeth. We'll call him Mr. Teeth. I don't know his name. Luke's taken prisoner. So, yep. Some toothy dudes. Breaking chains right there. So that's pretty cool. That curvy ship from earlier, which is the of course it's Guri's ship. It's called the Stinger. She's got legs. Her ship's got curves. That's just how it works. Okay, so Chewbacca in disguise as Snuva. I don't know if I mentioned the name of the bounty hunter earlier, but yeah, so it's him as Snuva and her as Bosch. So let me see. Leia and Chewie go underground. Apparently they spent a lot of time dressed up like that. Long enough for Chewbacca's hair to grow back, because obviously it wasn't like that in the movie. So Leia visits Spiro's plant shop. This is a freaky looking woman. It's like if you turned Carol Burnett from Annie into an alien. And glued Cheetos to her head. That's what she would look like there. Vader choking out a dude, because that's what he do, yo. So Vader seethes over Luke's escape. Yep, there's that. Shizor's palace. Leia arrives at Shizor's palace. Oh yeah, that's when he starts macking on her, and he's like, "Yeah, baby," and all that mess. And then yeah, that won't speak for itself. Oh, cards are sticking together. Yeah, one thing about these, they have a kind of a glossy finish to them, and I guess because they're sitting around in the packages for 30 years, they kind of dusty feeling or sticky feeling. But yeah, that kind of wears off. So Vader senses his son. There's Leia in a towel, brushing her hair because that needed to happen. Apparently, she's preparing herself for the irresistible Shizor. Hyperspace. There's Shizor sitting Native American style for some reason. Shizor prepares for Leia. So, yep, and there she is, getting macked on, and then she comes back and kicks him in the junk. Then he goes to Leggy Woman, and I guess to start whining about it. Maybe she helps him out with his problem. I don't know. There goes Dash Rendar walking into Mordor. There's the image I showed you guys earlier. Beautiful artwork. That I would like to have framed. That's a cool bit of artwork. Another shot of Coruscant. I'm assuming. Shizor's Troubled World. No, this is where Shizor's planet is. Twilight overlooking. I don't know. It's on there somewhere. Vader and the Shizor race. I'm not sure what that race is. Shizor goes daily. Dark Lord believes Luke is on Coruscant, which he wasn't. At least I'm not aware of him being. That monster that was in the trash compactor on the Death Star. Dash Rendar be shooting people in the head. Dash fires the guide. There's R2 and 3PO because they got to be in every smaking thing. That's another great shot, which is part of the artwork up there, which you cannot see at the moment. But yeah, very good. So we can put that light right there. Little special effects. Look at that. Low budget special effects. Thermal detonator. You have Arab lady playing hot basketball with the detonator. I don't know who this is. I'm just being a jerk. 5 minutes until impact. Leggy Woman apparently getting clotheslined by Luke, or tripped, or something. I prefer to think she was getting clotheslined because that's funnier. These ships, which apparently are still canon, especially with some of the RPG tabletops that they have in Star Wars. Shizor's castle getting blowed up real good. These are the guards. There was a figure of Luke dressed up as one of them, because I think that happens in the story somewhere. Very cool design. I love the design of it. Now, the thing that made me mad, though, is that they have this black... their neck is black, like the Stormtroopers are. Except for when they made the figure, they just stuck a regular Luke Skywalker head on there with no turtleneck. And, of course, I had to take matters in my own hands to fix that mess. I've since lost track of where that figure is. Super Star Destroyers, I believe. Battle of Coruscant Part 3. Shizor's battle station, or satellite, or something. Dash Rendar flying towards a piece of debris and then jumping into hyperspace immediately. There he is with Lebo, I believe it is. Yeah. Now, when I saw the images of was it Captain, what's his face, and was it JSO or whatever his name is from Rogue One. I'm like, oh, and it wasn't. Pissed me off. I guess Luke's trying to clean up R2 and Obi-Wan's house. And about to set off to, oh yeah, that's when he recorded a message. Got Hollow Foil, Lando. And I guess these are just kind of character cards. 3PO and R2. And not drawing R2's face on properly. Dash Rendar and Lebo. That was his name. I want to say he was almost like a medic droid, but I'm not entirely sure. Prince Shizor. The reason why they what actually happened, he had a chair that had a speech problem, and it stuttered his name. So that's how you find out it's not Zizor, but Shizor. There's Darth Vader, sort of embossed Darth Vader. Boba Fett. And then you get into regular cards again. These are actually nope, these aren't it. There is 90 cards, but the bonus cards, which you would think that these are bonus cards, but they're not. They're part of the regular set. There's actually 100 cards, which doesn't make much sense. There's the Outrider. So just covering vehicles now. Whatever that thing was. One thing I'm not seeing is the Houndstooth, which was a ship that was made for like the Micro Machines line of Shadows of the Empire. Yes, there was one of those. Swoop Bike. So that was obviously made canon because of the it appeared in episode 2. The Phantom Clone War. And then there's that ship. I'm not sure what that was. Oh, this is part of the Dark Horse comics here, so it kind of goes over, I guess, maybe a synopsis of, I guess, the story in the comics. There's let's call him Shizor. No, it's Boba Fett and Bosk back here. I'm not sure who this is. Perhaps it's Crichton from Red Dwarf. I'm not entirely sure. Him busting up some droid. Him and a couple other. Here you got. Was it Zakus or something? And then you got Batface and Sharkman. So, yeah, Zuckus. Zuckus kind of suckus. And him, I guess, after delivering Jabba the Hutt, and there's some sketch artwork on the back there. It's pretty cool. And getting into cards dealing with the video game. So LucasArts, 1 of 6. Dash Battles, AT-ATs on Hoth, or AT-ATs if you're so inclined. And then there's the shot from the game, and then recreated by the brothers Hildebrandt. Dash running away from some stormtroopers and shooting them down, and this big old robot. And then Dash going on to attacking the Skyhook. Captain Skyhook. Whatever that. Oh, that was on the Junk Planet. Yep. Metal Hover Train, and then him fighting IG-88, which is a freaking tough battle. So, that was Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, the card series. As much as, I don't know, I would imagine this video is probably kind of boring, but if you're so inclined, if you did enjoy it, please like, comment, share, subscribe, tattoo my name on your dog's backside, whatever you want to do, to let me know that you liked this video. If you want to see more of these card unboxings or whatever, 2 things you can do. First of all, obviously like the video, let me know, and head on over to Patreon. I have a link in the description. And if you want to see me do more of these, I will buy more of them with your help, and do some more unboxings and showing off cards. Now I gotta go find some sleeves and a folder or 2 to put these in. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.